Hey guys, Zach Butler, YG over here. Just wanted to show you an updated Kashtira Punk combo deck that I played today at Locals. I played a different one a couple days ago and tried it, but I wanted to do a different take on it. Originally I was playing like the tier limit cards in it too, to abuse Ancient Fairy Dragon, but this time I went with a different route, yeah, I'll show you guys the deck and we'll kind of go over it. Just so you're aware of what the end field generally is like a Crystal Wing. Sometimes you'll have Baron, a Rise Heart, and either Seals or IP. And that's off of like Xiamen and like any Kashtira basically. So you can do quite a bit with this deck off of very minimal investment, which is one of the things I liked a lot about it. So we'll kind of go through it as we usually do. So first up, for the punks, I play 3 Xiamen. And then actually I'm playing a slightly smaller punk lineup, which is one of the things I think I needed to change. I think there needs to be more punk cards. So there's 1 Deer Note, 1 Walgon, 1 Shirakusai, 1 Foxy Tune, and 1 Ogre Dance. So it seems a lot smaller, but the reason for the 1 Ogre Dance is because of a spell that I play, that I'll explain when I get to it. I just felt like I was getting to the point of redundancy with a lot of the starter cards, so we took them out, because they just began to be draws that were less efficient. But that's the Punk Monsters. Then for the Kashtiras, 3 Unicorn, 2 Scareclaw Kashtira. This is an important one because it is one of the only Kashtiras that you play that can be summoned if you have just monsters in the field, and that's really good. Or it's the one that you can summon, and you search it off of the field spell, the Primitive Planet, I think. So this is how you get into your Rise Heart lines usually. Just 2 Fenrir, because you're gonna usually get this off of Theosis, and then 1 Rise Heart as well. This is what you're gonna grab off of your Fenrir most of the time. So usually you'll try to start with Unicorn or Pressure Planet into Unicorn, and then you'll eventually do Fenrir and the other plays and end with an Rise Heart on the field. And then I played 1 Lava Golem as a defensive card. Again, just 1 because of my spell lineup. And I wanted a board breaker. And then I played 2, well, this is a Garnet, or an engine requirement. Fengli, the Soldier Bomb. So this is a plant tuner, level 1, that you send off of Diabolantis, the Menacing Mantis, and when it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, it special summons itself. When it's sent from the deck to the graveyard by a card effect, it special summons itself. So you'll send it, and then you'll do like some cool combo plays. And this came up a lot. This was actually really good. And then 1 Destrudo. This is probably a card that should be played in more copies of, just to have in general. This is played because it's a good extender, obviously, but also because you summon it off of Seals. And if your hand is just Kashtira cards, you can actually just normal summon this. Because if you go like special summon Unicorn, grab Birth, activate Birth, normal summon Destrudo, and then you can make Ultimaya Zulkin, and then play from there. So that's pretty cool. Spells. This is more of an Ancient Fairy Dragon like field spell deck than anything else, so the field spells are really important. So you have 3 Wraithsoth, and then 1 Jam Extreme Session, 1 Primitive Planet. The secondary effect of Primitive Planet does come up actually. You're going to want to summon your monsters in defense position a lot and then pop their cards. And then 3 Emergency Teleport, just so you have extra copies of Xiamen and stuff. The spell card that I've been mentioning that makes it so I only had to play 1 Ogre Dance and 1 Lava Golem is Dark Spirit's Mastery. So this card, you discard 1 card and then you add a level 8 Fiend or a Destiny board to your hand. And Lava Golem just happens to be a level 8 Fiend, and so does Ogre Dance. So you effectively have additional copies of each of these without having to have the redundant draws in them. So if you count this as a starter card, because thanks to Ogre Dance it's a starter card, and these, so you have these 7 plus the Xiamens, that's 10 right there, plus the Pressure Planets and stuff like that, you have a bunch of starter cards. But a lot of them are also just able to not necessarily be so limited in their application. This is probably the most limited in application card the deck has. But being able to search out Lava Golem or a starter card is really good, and I liked that a lot. Then there's Terraforming, because again, it's a field spell deck. I did consider playing Set Rotation. Initially I was going to, but I ended up cutting it just because I found like I never wanted to give my opponent a field spell, and I go through all 3 names really quickly, and I didn't want to play additional copies of any of them. So double Kashtira Birth, just because I want to draw this card more often, as well as risking having it banished in the mirror match, or the Kashtira matchup can be really rough. 2 Theosis for the same kind of reason. It helps with the grind game. And then I was playing 3 Crossout Designators for my defensive cards. This card really underperformed today. I'm probably going to take it out, but it was really just there because when I played a different version of this deck yesterday, the only card I lost to is Book of Eclipse. So I think I'll take out the Crossout Designator for more flexible cards, because you have 3 Book of Eclipse and 2 Impermanence as like hard defensive cards, as well as Lava Golem. So you'll notice you have these 6, but then with the Dark Spirit's Mastery, you actually have 10. So you have a very high percentage to see a lot of these cards. So that's the main deck. The extra deck is 1 Rising Carp, 1 Ultimaya Zulkin. This is an incredibly important choke point in the deck, actually. 1 Baronne de Fleur, 1 Crystal Ring, which is actually summoned correctly because of the level 1 plant tuner that you summon. And then you can also summon it off of Ultimaya Zulkin if you want, if like your hand is just weird and you just don't think you're going to get to field spells, or you've already gone through a bunch of them. 1 Diabolantis, the Menacing Mantis. One thing that people forget about this is that it can turn itself into a tuner. So you'll typically off of Xiamen, you'll do the Shirakusai fusion, and then summon Deer Note and Walgon searches the field spell. Then you Synchro Summon into Diabolantis. This will send the level 1 tuner, and then you'll bring back this off the Deer Note. Then you'll use Diabolantis effect to make it into a tuner. So then you can send these 2 to summon the Ultimaya Zulkin. And since you have the field spell in hand from your copy of Walgon, you then set the field spell, which then summons your Ancient Fairy Dragon. So it's a bridge into that, and then you also have your level 1 tuner. So then Ancient Fairy Dragon destroys the field spell, which then you can search for either Pressure Planet or Primitive Planet, depending on what you need to do. And then you Synchro Summon the Ancient Fairy Dragon and the level 1 tuner into a Crystal Wing. So it gives you Monster Negate. Then for the Xyz, I played 1 Shangri-Ira, 1 Arise Hearts, and 1 Big Eye, and 2 Zeus. The reason for the second Zeus is you just a lot of times you'll attack and you'll just put another one on top of it, and also just stops them from being able to stop you from having Zeus at all. And then for the links, I played 1 IP, 1 Heavenly or Heretic Seal of Heavenly Dragon Spheres. You can sometimes go into this with like Destrudo and Zulkin, or if you feel like you need to have this instead, you could summon this with Zulkin and Ancient Fairy Dragon if you don't think that, or like if you hard drew the tuner and you couldn't do it, or things like that. There's a lot of different ways to do stuff, and this is still very experimental. This came up, this whole idea started at like 2 in the morning, so it's very, very experimental. 1 Donner Dagger for Hire, and then 1 Nightmare Unicorn. Just a quick note, cards to consider for the extra deck if you are looking to play this kind of deck yourself would be like Appaloosa, Access Code, Psychic End Punisher, potentially. You could cut back on the links even, and then just play more of those. I just wanted to get the Zulkin off the field because I felt like having it sitting there was really just not good. But it might be correct just to get rid of it. Or just to leave it on the field and let it just kind of be there. And then the side deck that I played today was 3 Nibiru, 2 Gamma Seal, 2 more Lava Golems. So with all of these, I'm siding into Board Breakers. If I think they're going to do the Rise Heart Pass play, I would side into Gamma Seal. I also side into Lava Golems. Nibiru is obviously good against combo decks. Side deck was okay. The Lava Golem was probably the only part that really mattered. one Herpes Feather Duster. I sided one Triple Tactics Thrust because I don't like this card that much, but I wanted to have basically a 5th copy of a board wipe, because I also sided 3 Lightning Storms, and then 3 evenly matched as well. So yeah, that's the deck. I know it looks really weird. I promise it does make sense when you get to see some of the combos. Let's get this video to 25 likes, and I'll do a full combo video on this, and I will kind of explain the thought process behind it. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by giving this a like, a comment, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you wanted to purchase any of the cards you saw in this video, make sure to use the affiliate link found in the description below. A portion of that does go to the channel, so you're helping me while helping yourselves out, and I would greatly appreciate that. Until next time, guys, have a wonderful day.